Our AC in the car stopped working. So now there's one more thing I gotta fix. And I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna show you. See, it's off right now. I'm gonna turn it on, full blast. You kinda, I don't know if you heard that, but you kinda hear it kick in, but the fan's not blowing. Nothing's blowing. You see that? Nothing. I looked it up on YouTube to see where the exact location is, so I'm not over here guessing exactly where it is. So there's a couple things I gotta remove. I gotta remove a couple panels, the air duct, and the gas and brake pedal, and maybe a little electronic box that's like a BMU, and then there's like some actuator thing as well. First thing, disconnect the battery. So you don't want to short anything out either. I'm gonna take this out. This little pocket, it just slides out. And there's a screw right here for the duct work, which is underneath. I don't know if you can see it, but it's up here. And it runs along this way. So we're gonna undo that screw first and get it out of the way. All right, we wiggle that out. It just sits in the corner over here. I don't know if you can see it, sits in the corner down there, back there. And this other end connects to another thing underneath there. You just kind of gotta wiggle it out. Make sure you don't break this. And if you can, I like to put the screw or bolt back where I got it from, so I remember and don't lose it. You don't have to screw it all the way, just tight enough to where it stays. There's this panel right here. You just kind of pry it from the top up here and pull from the side. There's two little clips right here that hold it in place, and it slides out this way. You see, that's the little clip or a little notch now. It holds it in place right here, up there. And then these are the two little clips that just pop out of place. They're held in right here, and right here. It just pops out, gives you access. Be careful, if your car was running, this will be hot. That's for the heater. Then we gotta get this pedal assembly out of the way. The clip right here, here. There's another one in the back, right on top of the gas pedal. Right here, the black one. And there will be a couple of bolts holding it in place. There's 1, 2, oh sorry, can't see. There's 1, 2, 3. And then on the other side, 4. I believe there's just that 4 holding the brake and the gas pedal in place. We also had to undo this clip. There's a little pin here, safety pin. And then I think you just gotta squeeze this and pull it out. So here's the clips. Just squeeze it right here and pull it. Should be the same on the other side, the back side. Squeeze it and pull it out. That's for the brakes. And then you have another one right here. The other side for the gas pedal. Same thing, there should be one end. You kind of just squeeze it and pull it out. It comes out pretty easy. Sometimes clips are pretty hard to work with, but these 3 seem to be pretty easy. And we'll take out this pin right here. Pull this out. So with this pin, you just kind of get some needle nose, stick it through, get a hold of it, and just pull it. And it should come out pretty easy. This is the pin that holds the brake pedal in place. The little white plastic part, you can kind of just squeeze with your hands and push it through after you get that little safety pin out. And then there's another passageway through the brake pedal. You actually have to squeeze it again. I had to use a flathead to push it, twist it, and then push on the other end, and I was able to pull it out because you can't get your finger in there. This is the gas and brake pedal assembly. There is 3 plugs, one for the gas, and then 2 for the brake. There is 4 bolts. I believe I used a half inch. I used a half inch to get it off with an extension. And then the little pin that we took out earlier, it goes in through here. This is the brake pedal. And just one end goes in from there, and the part that has a little safety pin that goes through it comes out the other end, and it sits into that little clip that it goes through. Don't press it because the battery's disconnected. So we have the resistor right here. Right here, the clip goes into it right there. There's 2 screws. Well, I already took it out. 2 little Phillips. Flashlight's pointed on the blower motor right here. There's a screw up there that I have to do, and it's hard to see, but there's a clip back there, the white one. You can see the top of it. It sits on top. I can undo that, and then once I undo the screw, it's held in right there. There's a little notch right there that it twists onto. I just got to turn it counterclockwise. So when you put it back in, you'll turn it clockwise for it to lock in this little ridge right here. It's in an awkward position. Let me see. Show you the way out. Oh. And we took the pedal out already. Probably gonna have to take this little metal part from the brake off. Okay, so there's a locking nut right here on the back. I marked it with a black marker. You see the line right there? So in case I do move it a little bit, I can readjust it back to that spot. But you don't want to move that nut, so you're just gonna want to hold it with like a crescent wrench or vice grips, then put a flathead or some kind of screwdriver through the hole right here and just twist this right here left to take it off, to be able to get the blower motor out. I'm gonna see if I can get the blower motor out without taking this off, but we'll see. A lot of people say they have to take this off in order to get it out. You have to go inside. It's nap time.
Dad will call you.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Yeah. Ice cream break. Got that Kit Kat chocolate wafer drumstick. Chocolate. Pretty good. Actually tastes like a Kit Kat. Oh, it's not really a tough job, but it is a tough job because of the accessibility of it all. Like, it's such a tight spot. A lot of the stuff is hard to get to. You have to remove the brake and gas pedal assembly, undo some clips, take out the air duct, or one of the air ducts. You gotta remove this little black box that has about three plugs that go into it. I think it's called a BCM or something like that, body control module. Not sure what it does. I'm not gonna act like I do, but yeah. So you gotta remove that. It has a little Phillips screw in it. You just undo it, and you should be able to lift it off. These little prong hangers. The resistor, the screw that holds the BCM in, the little black box with the 2 or 3 plugs that go into it. I had to use an 8mm socket, a deep socket, with an extension to get to it because it was kind of hard to get a screwdriver in there. So I finally got the blower motor out. Here's the old one. So there's a clip that goes into it right there. I was able to get it out. It was a little bit hard to get it out, but after I got it actually out of the little recess that the blower motor sits in, I was kind of able to twist it and turn it to where I could see it a little bit better. And there's like a little button on the side, one little button on the side, kind of pull and wiggle as you're pressing it at the same time. And got it out. Here's the new blower motor. This was from AutoZone. I do like that they have an actual cable, little cable that you plug it into instead of being on the top. It's a little bit easier to access, I feel like, to get it in there versus fighting with it. But I mean, either way, it was okay. So we're gonna try to. I was actually able to get the blower motor out without doing the little. Actually, let me show you what all I had to remove. I had to remove this actuator, this little actuator. And it was getting caught on that. So there's 2 screws. There's actually 2 screws on it, one here and then one over here on the other side, that you have to unscrew in order to remove. And as you remove it, you're gonna want to hold on to the actual plastic pieces behind it, the white plastic pieces, because it'll mess with the adjustment on it, and they'll come out whenever you pull off that black actuator. The plastic piece will probably come out with it too, so you're going to hold on to the plastic pieces behind the black actuator as you pull out the actuator, so you don't take it out with it. There's this little white piece that stays on the actuator. It's actually attached to it, so you'll just hold it and then pull it out. There was also a plug, a small little plug on the side here. You just press and pull. I showed you this earlier. Actually didn't have to remove that or mess with the adjustment on that little clip that the brake pedal sits in, because I was able to, it has a small little flex to it. You just kind of push it off to the side as you pull the motor out, and that was enough room to get it out. So I'm gonna put it back in, and then I don't know if I got a resistor as well. I don't know if I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna try to, because the resistor is kind of, you could access it without having to take the brake pedal and stuff off. So I'm gonna put everything back together. I'm gonna test it with the old resistor, and if it works just fine, I'm just gonna return the one that I bought, because it was actually more expensive. The resistor is actually more expensive than the blower motor. I would normally change it since I have everything open and undone already, but since I could kind of access it without having to take everything that I had to take out today in order to access the blower motor, I'm just gonna test it out and see if it's still good. So this is the little plastic part that the plastic assembly that the actuator, that black actuator sits in there, the little white part right there, you'll see that, and that's the little plug that it plugs into. There's a screw right there, and then it screws on up top right there. So that was necessary to take off in order to pull the blower motor out of this path down this way. And let's see if I could show you guys real quick. There is a little bit of play, and I gave me enough room to just push it off to the side just a tad bit in order to get the blower motor out that way. So now we're gonna go ahead and put it all back in together. The blower motor sits in this little, let's see if I can put the light on there. It sits in there. See, that's where the blower motor sits in. There you can see the screw right there. I mean where you screw it in right there. There's one screw that holds it in. So we got the hard part through. We got the new blower motor in. We turned it. It was kind of hard to turn, but I kind of pushed my thumb up against where you screw it in. You see the screw? There's a little knob there that sticks out. I kind of use that as leverage to push it. First, I grabbed the body of the motor first and turned it as much as I could, and then pushed that. You got to be careful, don't break it though, because it is plastic. Once I got that in, I redid the clip, put the clip back in, and then I did this actuator. This top screw up here, right up there, was kind of hard to get to with the screwdrivers that I had, so I had to use like a drill bit, and I believe it was a 7mm wrench, open-end wrench, or a ratchet, and tightened it with that. And then this other one, I could use the smaller screwdriver that I got. So we're just putting stuff back together. Redo this clip. Before I forget, there's a little here. We put that through again. That holds it in place. And then clip this back in. It snaps in. The actuator is taken care of. We got to do the BCM. There's those three. The three plugs right here. This 2 whites and the black one. It's kind of hard to record, so I'm gonna get that in. And once I get that in, we have to mount it back up here, right here. There's a little bolt or a screw that's you screw it in with that. There's these little clips right up here, that it rests on, so you kind of just hang it on there like a hanger and then screw it. So I'm gonna get that in, and then this is the resistor. There's 2 screws. There's one on top and one on the bottom. I had it unplugged earlier to check it out. This is the old one. I'm actually gonna leave that in and see if it works with the old one, because if it works, I'm just gonna return the new one, because I believe pretty easy to access. Well, not necessarily easy, but it is accessible without having to do too much. All right, we got everything back together. I tested it off camera before I put everything back together. But so we got all the bolts back in, the sensors back in, brake pedal, gas pedals back in. I didn't have to change the resistor, so I'm gonna return the new one, save a little bit of money there. And yeah, everything's back in that we took out. Just finished it, putting that air duct back in that worked right here. Found it easy to get this inside piece in first and then get the other end in once I slide that part in. So yeah, I didn't have to take this off. It probably would have helped if I did, but it's another hassle undoing a bunch of other different stuff, so I just kept that on. Last thing to put back on is the cover over here. There we go. And then this just snaps back in too. It's supposed to anyways. If I could get the hooks back on there, right? There we go. Okay. Now let's go connect the battery and test it out again. All right, got everything back together. Let's test it out. You hear the compressor kick in. Turn this all the way up. There we go, we got air.